The concept of marriage out of love is a rather new concept in the timeline of humanity. It began around the 1500s, towards the end of it. And at that time, and it was in Europe, that young lovers were deciding that they could make the choice for themselves to get married. Up until that time, all marriages everywhere were arranged marriages. In fact, today, almost 50% of all marriages around the world are still arranged marriages. But at that time, it was very revolutionary, and young lovers decided that they wanted to take control of the situation themselves. They wanted to marry who they chose. Well, in India, there are a lot of arranged marriages that take place. And interestingly enough, with the divorce rate approaching 50% in the United States, in India, it's actually a much lower rate among the arranged marriages. And one of the reasons is because that people enter into arranged marriages with lower expectations. It's a stranger coming into their bed, and they realize that they have to make some effort in having a relationship with this person. It means they have to get to know this person, and they have to cooperate. They're not coming into this marriage with the concept of, oh, what can I get out of it for me? They really are trying to make this thing work. It has a lot to do with honor for the family and with the culture, and they have a lot invested in this experience for themselves, and they work at it. What happens in a lot of Western countries where we have love-based marriages, which I really am all for. I really believe in love-based marriages. But one of the problems that we have with love-based marriages is that we enter into it sometimes with an idea of what can I get out of this before what can I bring to this relationship? And so we set up our partner to be someone who fixes us, someone who fills that emptiness that we have inside. And we start putting on them all kinds of unresolved issues that we have in our own lives and from our childhood and from the past, and we want them to fix it for us. Another thing that happens for people in love-based relationships is you have this incredible experience of love rushing at the beginning of it, which you don't have in the arranged marriage. But in the love-based, there's this great love experience, and we feel these emotions, and they're whirling around inside of us, and then one day they stop, because they're supposed to stop. They're supposed to be there long enough to allow us to connect, but we don't realize that because we say our relationships are supposed to be love-based, and when that experience goes away, we feel, oh, we've lost that magic. Maybe this isn't the person for me. And so we stop cooperating with the person. We stop bringing things to the relationship. And the reality is that a relationship is work. We have to work at the relationship. It's a living thing. It's like a plant. You have to give a plant water, and you have to give it light and some plant food. You have to take care of it. You just can't let it sit there. And many times what we do with our relationships is we treat it like a neglected plant. We don't give it the sunshine, the water, and the food that it needs. Instead, we say, well, we have the relationship and now it just runs on its own. And what happens is it's going to die. So what we need to do in our relationships is that we need to contribute something to them. And that means that many times we have to place the needs of the relationship above our own personal needs. Is there anything we can do to improve our odds for having a successful marriage? Yes. Communication. Communication is the biggest component in having a successful relationship. That means being able to communicate with your partner your feelings, your needs, your desires, your dreams, your hopes, everything about yourself. Being able to sit and to talk with that person. Because long past beauty, we need to be able to communicate with that person when you're sitting in the rocking chair. So find somebody that you can talk with. If you can talk with them and you feel comfortable with that, you have gold in your hands. You want to protect that. You want to take care of it. The next thing that you can do is to lower your expectations of what a relationship is going to do for you. Walking into a relationship with too many expectations of what it's going to do for you is going to set up the destructive seeds of that relationship. It's going to start falling apart on its own with that. You don't want to sow the seeds of destruction into it. What you want to do is you want to say, what can I give to this relationship? Treat it like it is gold. It is such an important thing in your life. So feed that important thing the nutrients that's going to keep it strong. Communication, lowered expectations, and actually putting the relationship at times above your own personal needs. Those experiences are going to allow you to really feel an enriched and enjoyable and life-giving experience in a love relationship. For more information, you can find me on my website at LAtherapist.com, Or for my self-help products, you can go on to hypnocd.com. I'm Dr. James Walton, family therapist.